Hi, my name is Michelle Artibee, and I'm the Director of Workforce Wellbeing in the Division of Human Resources at Cornell University. COVID-19 has certainly upended how, when, and where work is performed. Cornell has a long-standing history of supporting workplace flexibility, but there are some important nuances to this in a COVID-19 environment. In this short session, I'm going to share with you the commonly requested forms of flexibility, some nuances related to each, and some strategies for you to consider as you seek to support the individuals on your team while also ensuring that the important work of your team gets accomplished. Let's start by looking at the various forms of flexibility. Employees are expressing an interest in adjusting their start and stop times. This is often referred to as flex time. In today's environment, we are seeing an increased interest from individuals who would like to begin their workday earlier in the morning, work later in the evening, and/or potentially work on the weekends. If it aligns nicely to the nature of the work the individual performs, this can be a great way to ensure that the work is still getting accomplished and that it's being accomplished when the employee can genuinely focus. Hourly employees and managers must work together to ensure that flexible work schedules do not unintentionally cause overtime. COVID-19 has impacted caregivers a great deal, particularly Cornell parents who must help their children with distance learning. Windows of work time can be a great way to support working parents with scheduling challenges. Obviously, remote work is an important part of Cornell's strategy to support temporary de-densification on campus. As we transition back to the workplace, there may be roles that are necessitated on campus. In situations where a portion of the work can continue to be conducted remotely, a hybrid option may be ideal. Employees may request the ability to reduce their workload either formally or informally. There are a variety of approaches that you may consider as a manager and that you should discuss with your local HR representative. First, an individual can reduce their workload, meaning the number of hours per week that they work, and supplement the time that they are not working with accrued paid time off, specifically their vacation or health and personal time. If they do not wish to use accrued paid time off, there are a couple of different options. A formal reduction to the individual's hours for a set duration might be feasible. The number of hours worked per week must remain at least 20 hours to ensure continuation of health benefits. Prior to making any formal changes, connect with your local HR representative for important considerations that may result from reduced hours. Employees may informally and occasionally reduce their work hours without using paid time off to supplement. It is important to understand that in both of these situations, pay is reduced as well as retirement contributions and paid time off accruals. Employees may also request an unpaid leave of absence for up to 3 months. And there are a variety of health and medical related leaves available to employees. Discuss these with your local HR representative or Medical Leaves Administration in HR to understand which options apply and their related impacts. A few thoughts about the process related to flexibility at Cornell. To create a culture of flexibility, managers should proactively discuss scheduling needs, including time off, with all team members, and consider potential scenarios that you may encounter, both individually with an employee and how that might impact the work of the team. Ask employees to identify challenges and solutions, and ask all team members about their interest and opportunities to support their growth so that you can leverage the existing staffing and interests on your team. Supervisors must consult with their local HR representative prior to issuing a denial of a request for workplace flexibility. This isn't intended to remove the decision-making authority from the manager, but rather to help guide managers in considering all options available and how to communicate such decisions. This is per the flex policy at Cornell. If an employee expresses interest in relocating long-term outside of New York State, there is a university process that must be followed, and it generally requires a 1-month advance notice. There are tax implications for employees who work long-term outside of New York State, and employees should discuss their unique tax situation with a personal tax advisor. You may be wondering what documentation is required. Prior to COVID, all flexible work arrangements were documented using the Flex Agreement form. But in today's environment, temporary remote work arrangements do not need to be documented. However, if you plan to approve an individual's long-term remote arrangement, it is important that a formal agreement be in place. Formal reduced workload agreements must also be documented in partnership with HR. Some discussion tips. As a manager, express your desire to reach a flexible plan that meets both the work needs and the individual's personal needs. Try to focus on maximizing the employee's time and energy for their performance, not necessarily when and where work occurs. Obviously, not all forms of flexibility work for all types of positions, as Cornell has such a wide range of roles. It is important to discuss your expectations with employees related to flexibility and revisit them regularly, particularly regarding communication and deliverables. Flexibility works best when both the manager and the employee are committed to working together to address work-related needs and the personal life needs of the employee. A few thoughts about workload. In today's environment, supervisors are juggling a number of flexible work requests, employees on medical leaves, and employees seeking to reduce their hours too. Before reassigning any work from one employee to another, it is important to really understand the workload demands of each individual and to ensure they are aligned with the top priorities of the team and the department. It is important to be very thoughtful about this process, as supporting the well-being of all of your employees on your team is critical. If needed, speak with your own manager about calibrating current priorities and the bandwidth of your team, and bring recommendations to the table for their consideration. Please remember that help is available. You can start with your local HR representative, or you may contact any of the following teams: Medical Leaves Administration, Organizational Development and Effectiveness, the Faculty and Staff Assistance Program, Work Life and Human Resources, or Cornell Wellness. Each of our teams support employee well-being in a variety of ways. We know that this has been an incredibly challenging time for Cornell employees, and managers in particular. As a manager, you've been helping Cornell through unprecedented challenges, while also helping the individuals on your team navigate a variety of stressors and navigating your own stressors. Thank you for all that you've done to support employees. Please check out the manager community at hr.cornell.edu/managers to learn about upcoming programs and ways that you can connect with other managers to share experiences and creative solutions. Thank you.